What's up, Shady Sports Network? I'm here with a very, very special guest, BalHawk Autrey II.
How's it going? How's it going?
This guy is a CIF legend. This guy's an arena legend. He is his own brand. You can see with all the stuff, the great setup he has there with his everything. So we have a lot to talk about today. Let's just get it started, man. How has the off season been so far?
It's been a blessing. It was a humbling year this past season. So this off season, it just made me really just get right back into it with just training the kids and just putting them on, getting them ready for the next level and then next opportunity.
So, training kids is kind of your big thing. I saw you had your own camp that you were doing a couple days ago. How did that
Uh,
go?
yes, sir. Basically, with that, is just trying to give back to the community, get my name out there, out here in the Denver area, Brighton area where I am. Just giving back really. You know, um, Basically with me being back, a lot of kids was hitting me up during season, so they was really excited for me to be back, and it was a real good camp. Ended up doing one of them with the Box State boys youth camp up in Adams City, and it was a good turnout for the say about the 8 through 12U, and then the second session was the high school group.
So, you've had a crazy career. Let's just get started from the beginning. Coming out of high school, how was your college recruitment process?
Um, Really, it really just fell in my lap, and I took that opportunity. How I saw fit. Mom's words was once I left, the house, I only had my brother really to look after. So ended up going to Bethany College, NAIA, out in Lynchburg. Um, so basically got there, freshman year, they put me on the field and never really looked back. Fell into some trouble in school, but got back on the right foot. And then that's when I lost my mom's. And from there, it was almost like a pivot point in my life. Could have just, give up on school and everything else. But basically, had to put my big boy pants on, be a father. Make ends meet. And all in all, that led me to going to my first professional tryout with the Salina Bombers when they did start the original franchise.
What league? Were you guys still in the CIF,
The original league was the CPIFL.
CBIFL? Okay. So, you were with the Solana Bombers. How did that go with your first experience?
Being young and not really having the guidance or the mentors, like becoming incoming professional and new father, I can say I wasn't humble the first 3 years. So it was like going in that first year, I kind of got defensive rookie of the year, was topping the league in interceptions, and then wasn't getting the recognition that I felt that I rightly deserved. So that's what really had me, just barking a lot more, trying to basically receive that recognition, from my peers and the league and coaches and things like that. Them first 3 years with Salina.
After Salina, where did you go to?
In that third year, it was kind of it was up and down. And I ended up leaving the team, got picked up by Dodge City, Ricky Burks and Sean Ponder. Um, and that was, like another pivot point, honestly, because I thought I was going to be done playing as a professional. Went to Colorado. That's when I first moved to Colorado in 2015. Had my tryout with Colorado Ice, and that didn't go how I wanted it to with the contract and things like that. But it basically put a chip on my shoulder to come back to the league, and that's when it was the CIF. And had a remarkable year that year. I think I had 103 tackles, 6, 7 interceptions, or something like that. But it was a good year that year.
So, you've been in this game for a while, and you've seen the good, you've seen the bad, you've seen the ugly. What
Definitely.
I feel like right now we're kind of at a standstill with the sport as a whole. We have
Hmm.
teams that do stuff right, like the Sioux City Bandits. But then we have other teams that kind of make up their own way of doing stuff. I don't want to say
Yeah.
any names, but you were on one of those teams this year.
Yeah. More so, what I did learn when I first got to Sioux City back in 2017 was, things got to be done right from top to bottom. And that's ownership, coaches, all the way down to the trainers and things like that. And a lot of times when you think you can cut corners and things, it'll come out, during game days, a lot of things that you try to keep off the field, and just play the game for the love of the game, come game day, you're going to need those things to be, just clear head, so you can just go out there and play football, because at the end of the day, that's what we're doing. We're playing football. But when all these things happen off the field, they tend to make their way on the field.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I mean, I think, Topeka tried their best to do that this year.
Hmm.
Obviously, that organization is still up in the air. What was your experience, off the field playing for the Tropics?
Off the field, like I said, that was it was definitely a trying point that I put myself in, knowing that I was coming off of two back-to-back championship years in two different leagues. So I was wanting to be on a three-peat, and also challenge myself to go to an organization that didn't win in 2 years a game, and you know basically make history for myself like that. But basically, just certain things off the field, just housing and basically, just just the means of just being a professional athlete with food and things like that, and recovery. Being in the league so long, like I got to a point where it was like enough is enough, so I didn't want that to, because I understand that, hey, it was a new organization.
Oh, give me 1 second. Looks like we have some internet issues here. We will hit commercial break, and we will be right back.
This is Brett, and you're watching Shady Sports Network. Tune in, hit that like button.
You might wonder, what do these guys do? Player signing announcements. I never in a million years thought you would actually come on to break this news. So without further ado, go ahead and tell everybody what happened today.
Yeah, man. I just had a workout with the Cincinnati Bengals. Signing me right out.
Without further ado, I'd like to announce that, I'll be taking my talents to Salina Liberty.
This just in, the Major League of Football is reportedly collapsing, unable to pay hotel room bills, with players being kicked out of their rooms and hotel managers asking them to leave.
All right, we are back here. Just that little internet collapse right there, but we are back. So you were talking about Topeka, and
Yeah,
what
basically.
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel like, what do you think you learned, like, from the whole situation?
As far as being a vet, the grass isn't greener on the other side. But as long as I can, lead a certain way, and teach, the younger professionals, it's not like this. In every organization, there's going to be some ups and downs, but at the end of the day, as long as you carry yourself as a professional, you will land on your feet, and you'll be in a situation that's best fit for you. And if this is really something that you're passionate about and that you really love, God will make a way for you, because we all understand one door closes, another door opens, and that's definitely what happens. And tends to happen in a lot of our situations and circumstances.
I 100% agree with you. That's a great message to have in life and to be aware of, for sure. So around you in your setup right now, show me a little bit around all the helmets and stuff that you got.
Yeah. So I mean, this is right now with the Rocky Mountain Phoenix. That's what I'm playing with right now back in Colorado. Still have my original Texas Revolution 2018-19 lid, my 2021 AAL Championship lid with North Texas Bulls, Salina Liberty lid in 2022. Last year, my San Diego Strike Force led as well, and got my Cedar Rapids led still as well. So been a couple places.
So, what do you think? You play in the IFL and the CIF. What do you think the biggest difference in terms of competition is between those two?
Competition, I would say honestly, just sticking to the game and knowing the script. Game day scripts. Uh, Linemen, I tend to really see like you're gonna have beefier, bulkier linemen in the IFL. But I mean, being there really wasn't a different in gameplay. Uh, Now, as far as like marketing and traveling, like that's the biggest difference that I've really seen in the IFL. And as far as like getting their views and things like that, and game day operations and things like that, it's a lot better in the IFL.
I can see that. I mean, I feel like each league is kind of different in their own right,
Hmm.
but it depends team to team too. Like down there in
Definitely.
Sioux City, I feel like you guys had a IFL level team, to be honest.
Hmm. No,
Um,
definitely. That's one of them teams with longevity, just in the arena. Sioux City, definitely like a team like Omaha as well. They've been around for a while. So when you have teams like that, they just tend to get better and better with, um, what can we do, to bring more fans in, keep our fans locked in, not only to our players, community, but to the game.
so the big news is next year the AFL is coming back. Um,
Definitely.
what do you think about that, and what teams do you think we'll see in the AFL?
I mean, I've seen a couple teams, here and there, but it'd be nice, to have a team back in Texas, teams down there in the Dallas, Houston area. But I mean, I just want to see it across the board, East Coast, West Coast, down south, like so really can convert, see almost like our own version of the NFL all over again.
That would be awesome. So obviously, right now, next year free agency hasn't started. But are you listening to offers from every league and every team?
Basically, yes, sir. This will be year 11, so definitely 3 picks away from 60 career picks. So it's like definitely want to keep stamping myself in my career, and as far as being in a position to play on the higher level, like I feel like I've been you know doing that substantially, throughout the years, and consistently for almost a decade. Yeah, at this point.
So you've been playing for a long time, and you kind of built that brand for yourself. How important has that brand building process been, and how did that get started with the action figures, the clothing, everything?
Honestly, it's almost being pissed off about going to ask for my money, or letting somebody else define what I'm worth, or tell me what I bring to the table, and knowing at the end of the day I make genuine connections with fans throughout the season and the off season, kids, mentoring them and things like that, coaching kids. So genuinely knowing like if you build your own fan base and own basic clientele, uh you can make some things happen. And I was understanding, I was taking game checks, giving those same, going to buy tickets and giving those tickets back out to fans, ensuring, for who couldn't get to the game, that we were getting them to the games and things like that. But just understanding things like that, the little things had the fans staying locked in with me, having just genuine conversations with them outside of football and things like that. Um, Definitely put me in a position to understand like my worth and my value and what I do bring to the team, networking with other friends and ex-colleagues from college and things like that, and what they're doing in their business endeavor. And that's what basic college taught me. Like it was really networking. So the networking aspect of all of that, it put me in a position to take my name and make it a brand, and turn it into general revenue for myself, without going and waiting on the check or asking for a check, and or doing anything extra to make income when it comes to arena. Because, a lot of people get it mistaken, it's not a professional level to where you get rich off of, but if you put yourself in the position, you can set yourself up on the back end, as far as coaching, mentoring, like doing camps and everything.
That's awesome. That's really important. Like I said, man, you ran so the rest of the CIF could walk. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of lived through it and you understand the struggle, but you also made something out of it, which is huge.
Yeah, that's big shout out to Coach Victor, man. Definitely remember everything that he was definitely trying to install in me from the moment I was in Dodge City playing against Texas Revolution, and he told me in the game, like, you need to come back home, but didn't understand what he was like, meaning. But when he brought me back home to Texas, and 2.5, 3 years being back home, like, he showed me like being a professional and how to like market, brand myself, and do the whole BalHawk, being part of Team No Soft and everything like that.
That's amazing. That's really important for all athletes to do, especially today in the day of NIL. So, final couple of questions here. For you right now, so you're in the off season, what's your daily routine looking like? Like taking through like a morning to night time?
Honestly, I'm a night owl, so probably ain't getting to sleep till late. But when I do get up, I tend to, get my house together, have on my game at times. It is my off season, so if I'm not training the kids throughout on Monday, Wednesday, Friday type things, really just relaxing, keeping myself, basically just together. But when I'm out there training the kids and things like that, I'm actually, still working myself out and pushing myself to the limit. So next opportunity does come, like, I will be ready and prepared for it. But it's really off season just consists of, mentoring a lot of these kids, getting back with them along with my own kids, putting them in positions, to go further than I did.
How rewarding is it being a father?
It definitely is, man, because it was times where, being 33 now, like, it's times where I look back at my kids being 11 and 9 right now and have flashbacks at times, like, of, my father not being there and things that I didn't get to experience with my father or with my parents. So it's like being in the position, waking up on days, it could be tough. It's like, man, at the end of the day, you're in a position to go pick up your kids or hang out with your kids and just enjoy life. Like, because for me, it was really just being outside with my brother and family and relatives and things like that. And on the block, getting it in and just having fun. But now it's like being in a position to really show my kids. It's like, installing that into them, where they're at in their own careers, and not really just being so hard on them about, like, you got to do this, that, and the third. But it's like, really, if this is what you want to do, like, I can help you, get to a certain point in your life that I have made it to and further. So, but not only mine, but other kids as well. So that's the biggest reward, like, because I want to understand, like, how to break the generational curse. And it was like, at the end of the day, it's not only about your kids, it takes a village, to raise a child. So being one that the village helped raise me, it'd only be right, for me to be a Texas man out here in Colorado, putting it down for Texas and, giving them some Texas, mindset and football IQ, Texas game in this thing.
For sure. That's really important to know, what it takes to be a good father. So my final question for you here is, you display great professionalism. I feel like you have everything. You know what you want to do in the next 5 years, or let's say 2 to 3 years of your life.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do yourself? And what's your what's a saying that you live by?
Outside of, the trust the process, I was blessed. OG basically told me this within the last year or so. And he told me, make your next 25 better than your last 25. And it really, made me think a lot, because it was like, being where I'm from, it's like a lot of us didn't make 21, 15, let alone 25. So being where I am in my career, let alone to have 10 years as a professional, not a lot of people get to say that, or even have a 10-year career job type thing. So puts me in a position to understand like I still have work to do with passing things down to the next generation, being a youth scout, a mentor as well for Nation's Best. Those are things like I want to continue to do. Be in a position to help kids, get those scholarships and go further their careers as well. Ranking kids with Generation Next has also, helped me broaden my platform in the youth community as well. So, and then my own venture with, my dogs and things like that. So like I say, it's just, entrepreneurship, basically trying to lock it in on the back end, for my kids and things like that, put them in a position, I'm just trying to pass something down to them so they can pass something down to their own kids, but doing it the right way. So I really ain't got to look over my shoulder type thing.
That's what's up. For sure. I definitely agree with that. So, DeWayne, I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to come on, man. You're a true professional in every sense of the word. I know you're going to do great things and continue to inspire the younger generation. Who are some people that you want to shout out, and where can we find you in terms of where can we get your merch and action figures?
All right, yeah. So the merch, action figures, yeah, that's all, me.com. Basically word of mouth, spreading that through y'all. Y'all always help me with that, with sharing and things like that. Just DM me, things like that. Hit me up on Instagram and Facebook. But as far as right now, endeavors, getting ready to play for the championship with Rocky Mountain Phoenix. My boys up here. Shout out, my agent John P. Over there, the next level agency. Definitely Coach Mann. All his mentorship with me. Coach Martino as well. Martino Diaz. Those my guys, man. And at the end of the day, I'm just trying to keep going forward and breaking these generational curses, for the next generation, man.
100%. Keep grinding, man. I cannot wait to see where you go next year and what you continue to do in the community. So keep grinding.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'll see you real soon.
All right. Much appreciated, boss.
Yes, sir.
I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer.